What it is, for you already know what it is. Your boy K the fucker X. We in the dungeon. You already know we about to get into it. We got the craziest shit. These these niggas that said on interviews. I almost cursed. They got the craziest shit these niggas that said on interviews. Fuck it, we in the building. You hear me? Fuck it, I'm gonna cuss today. I'm unsensitizing this shit today. No more buttons. Come on. What I'm gonna tell you? Feed me. Let's get it, baby. Now some real shit. You in the dungeon with your boy K the fucker X. And I'm about to tell you, dude, sit back, chill, kick it, vibe out, hit me in the comment box, hit me in the chat. Right here, scroll up, I'm looking at it, you feel me? I'm gonna comment back, hit that like button, help me in the algorithm, hit that subscribe button. You already know who it is, man. We get some money over here. It's about that time. It's real nigga time. It's RN time, you feel me? Look, enough said. Let's get into the craziest shit these rappers said in interviews.
I like when you like this, Daddy. I like that.
You told me to take me shopping. What'd you just say?
What?
He said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Thought he needed some.
I meant to tell y'all something. If you ain't got you one of these, you better roll you one up, sit back and chill, light it up, and we about to get into it. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help your boy get to 50K, feed me, 50K subs. You already know it's your boy K the fuck X. How we do it over here, dog.
Close.
This nigga Diddy weird.
But then again, some of them that can rap, but I care about us more. I don't want to go through. I don't want to talk about it no more. I want.
You are happy 24/7. That is a lie.
That gotta be a lie.
There aren't that many moments that capture pure chaos, unfiltered drama, and outright insane moments in hip-hop history. But these rappers' interviews were crazy. And this was the case when Birdman joined the Breakfast Club. See, Birdman had a bit of an issue with Charlamagne himself. And of course, Birdman being Birdman, he immediately let Charlamagne know about it.
Sir, I want to start this shit off straight, telling all three of y'all stop playing with my name.
Ooh,
let's go on there. Let's go.
Big boy.
After sitting down, Birdman once again.
You see how he pressed that moment? That I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Stop playing my bird. No, don't sleep on Birdman. He might got that soft ass voice. Don't sleep on that dog.
Reiterated his point.
My name come up
to that bar. Yo say my name come up, respect it.
If you've ever dreamed of owning an apartment complex and you live near one of these cities, then you've got to see the same ad that I saw 3 years ago. It was
hit that like button.
I'm playing with your name.
Help me.
All three of y'all.
Stop
playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
Angela's face after that only exemplified how everyone in the room was feeling at the moment. But when the interview officially began, Charlamagne asked Birdman why he was so angry, and Birdman pretty much remained hostile and aggressive.
We got a special guest in the building.
He done cursed us out. Tell him, get it off your chest.
And one thing about the Breakfast Club boys, I'm gonna tell you why I call them the Breakfast Club boys. That Breakfast Club shit right there is called for butt. They booty club boys. Them niggas, they ain't, man, look, they probably got a kid, a wife and all that, man. They play with each other butts over there on that Breakfast Club. Go ask Charlamagne. Go ask Slice can do that, can't think his name right now. I'm turned, you feel me? And I'm calling y'all out. Ask him on the podcast. We can talk about it. We can chop it up.
That's Birdman.
Birdman then escalated the situation by saying he could have pulled up on Charlamagne at any time, anywhere, but he chose to confront him during the interview because apparently it wouldn't be gangster to pull up on him anywhere else.
I wanted to talk to you on your man in your face.
Absolutely.
You understand me? I knew a few places you was at. You really pulled up, but I don't think that was gangster.
I mean, Birdman just straight up admitted he planned on actually putting a hit on Charlamagne.
I wanted to come look you in your face like a man and tell you how I feel.
Okay.
You understand me? Straight up like a man.
So what's the issue?
Ain't no issue. If it was an issue, you'll feel me. I just come to let y'all know, stop, put some respect on my name.
Birdman even took his glasses off to let them know he was serious. But all things considered, it's great Birdman chose to check Charlamagne in public and in his own house on the Breakfast Club instead of anywhere private, because who knows what he would have done then. However, the real reason Birdman was so mad was just before this interview happened, the Breakfast Club interviewed Rick Ross and Trick Daddy. And during both of those interviews, they would call out Birdman for how he treats his artists, particularly Cash Money's main moneymaker, Lil Wayne. So Charlamagne got the gist that Birdman was pissed because Ross and Trick called him out on their radio show, and he brought up this interesting point.
Did you pull up on Ross that way, or Trick Daddy?
And I'm pulling up on you.
Yeah, but I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
Which was actually a valid question. Interestingly enough,
pause, chat. Let this be a known fact. It won't matter who you is. That guy right there is gonna pull up on you. He gonna pull up, show out, and allegedly.
Birdman didn't answer this question at all. Rick Ross and Trick Daddy were the ones who called him out, so why not confront them instead of the radio show they were on? And apparently this question was too much for Birdman because after this, he promptly left the interview, cutting it short. However, before he walked out, he left this now iconic line.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
Charlamagne would then bend this moment as the
That's it. Quickest Breakfast Club interview ever.
Shortly after, this video went viral. Birdman may not have thought this whole thing was funny, but everyone else certainly did. The next walkout happened during Adam 22's No Jumper podcast. You see, Cuban Doll, an infamous female rapper, showed up for an interview with Adam 22 in what may have seemed like a run-of-the-mill No Jumper episode. However, what no one expected was that this interview was going to be nothing but dramatic. From the moment Cuban Doll arrived on the set, it wasn't long before things started to fall apart. Right from the get-go, she was speaking barely above a whisper, making it hard for anyone to even catch what she was saying.
You gotta be more specific with me.
When I look
I dropped out of school early.
You dropped out of school early?
That was with a P.
Okay, that's not what we're talking about.
You need to say how words a little bit.
Off.
And despite Adam trying his best to keep things flowing, Cuban seemed out of sync with the entire situation, and she also seemed out of touch with the reality during the interview. This led to many fans speculating that she may have been under the influence during the interview, though nothing was ever confirmed.
God, that mic is a real thing. It's either way too sensitive or not enough.
You need to get your shit together.
I don't know, I think it's your weird, varied tone. You go from real loud to really quiet.
However, the mood of the interview changed when Adam poked around Cuban's relationship status.
Your relationship status right now?
My relationship status, I'm in a relationship.
With who?
Okay.
I just wish this mic would pick you up.
But that's not all. Adam also tried to ask whether she got back with her ex-boyfriend, Tato, TQ's best friend, and someone she had previously accused of doing some very heinous things to her.
Is it Tato?
No.
Why not? What happened? Can you turn her mic up?
I'm not letting it.
I'm having a hard time picking her up.
Naturally, this was a sensitive topic for Cuban, especially since she had only spoken about these allegations a few months before the interview. Cuban would eventually say she was just in a relationship with the guy at the moment, but he was anonymous and didn't have clout.
It just needs to be more sensitive. Who's your boyfriend?
My boyfriend is anonymous.
He's anonymous?
Yeah.
No clout?
Okay.
No clout.
How about
Shut
that?
up.
He regular.
Adam quickly countered that he could never see her in a relationship with a person with no clout due to her dating history.
See if she
I
can
don't
that
think I can
regular
see you
thing
being with a
later
guy
on.
like that.
Why not?
Because every guy I've seen you associated with seems
Oh
like...
my god.
Well, that's
It's with the
weird.
fake news.
No.
Now, throughout this interview, Adam had a hard time picking up anything Cuban was saying, so he and his sound guys kept adjusting the sensitivity of Cuban's microphone, which led to this exchange between the two.
This blonde right here, this reaction right
Way too
here,
sensitive and
this channel
not.
right here.
You need to get your shit together.
I don't know, I think it's your weird, very tone. You go from real loud to really quiet.
After this, Cuban insisted on wrapping up the interview.
Aspiring YouTubers and entrepreneurs, we will help you start and monetize your faceless YouTube channel within the next 6.
Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Help me on that.
Even though they were only 16 minutes in, signaling that she was pretty much done with the whole thing.
Hit that like button, hit that sub button. You in the with your boy K.
Let's wrap it up then.
In Cuban's defense, she did try to get this interview back in line by saying she wanted to talk about her music, which was the reason she came there in the first place.
I'm dropping new music. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about music.
That's great, let's talk about music.
But not even 16 minutes into the interview, Cuban already wanted to wrap things up.
So,
Let's wrap it up then.
wrap it up? You want to
Wrap
finish
it
this
up
already?
then. That's
what I was
This is
talking
like
about.
16 minutes or something.
God though.
Okay, we need to cut it actually.
However,
What's that,
Adam
Chad?
wanted to get his money's worth, so he tried to push the conversation more. And this is where he tried to get something juicy.
Cut it, I want to know more about Cuban Doll, man. You're so evasive.
Further into the interview, Adam raised a specific question about the viral lyrics from Tato's song, which had become a meme at the time. He asked Cuban if she felt accountable for any of the traction the meme gained, considering the song's timing and the public's perception of her relationship with Tato.
Okay, let me just throw this out there before we even get to the music thing.
You just want to be messy one last time.
Yeah. Shorty know I kill people. Real people.
Come on, bro.
Okay,
Do you feel responsible for that meme?
The timing of Adam's question about Tato and the people she had worked with hit a nerve. It became clear that this wasn't a topic she was willing to discuss. When Adam asked the sensitive question, Cuban seemed stunned and visibly taken back. He paused and then, with a quick, decisive gesture, told Adam she was done with the interview.
She was all that lean though.
Yeah.
That lean.
No? You want to talk about that?
We done.
We're done?
Yeah.
You taking the headphones off? Why? You don't like that song?
Adam couldn't believe it at first, and he even jokingly said that the walkout would be the title of the video.
Is she really gonna leave? Is this a real walkout? Because now we get the title that Cuban Doll walks out of the No Jumper interview. Oof, it's going down. You mad at me?
Adding to the drama, Cuban took some items with her as she left, which Adam later clarified were not his, but likely belonged to another rapper, Skinny from the Nine.
She took our purple backwoods. Those weren't even ours. I think those are Skinny from the Nines.
As the camera kept rolling, Adam reflected on the questions he had asked, noting that he had been careful not to mention certain off-limit topics, including her cage incident, which was a specific topic Cuban previously mentioned to avoid.
I don't understand. She got mad. I didn't even mention the cage.
But looking back, it's pretty clear that this interview quickly became less about Cuban Doll's music and more about escalating the tension between the two. If you thought that was bad, Kodak's appearance on Hot 97 was even harder to watch. Ebro was terrible with the guests and pretty much destroyed the vibe of the whole thing.
Yo, man, first of all, I gotta be honest, I was skeptical on doing this interview. I saw your other interviews where you was wearing like a ski mask and all that, and I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in talking to this.
Ebro then proceeded to bring some of the legal cases Kodak had been involved in. However, he didn't react negatively to any of these early on.
And I know it's sensitive, but how you feel about everything that's going on?
I got big wings, so
I'm tapping in right now.
The devil be on my head, but I got big wings. You know what I'm talking about?
After this, it just looked like it would be a normal interview. They talked about music, Kodak's success in the industry, working with Cardi B, and more. It wasn't until the very end when things would start to go sour after Ebro said this.
Look, man, at this point, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. You know, looking at all your cases and everything you've been through, and I know the recent one right now is very sensitive. And with respect to, everybody involved in that case, we can't get into details today.
And to anyone unaware of what was unfolding, what Ebro was referring to here was Kodak's essay case, which was filed in 2016 and was still an open case during the time of this interview. Acknowledging the gravity of the case, Ebro went on to say,
but we take assault here serious, and we can't, get into details, but we hope, to have you back so we can have a deeper conversation about that, because, this is a serious topic, and we're hearing these stories a lot.
Kodak just stared at Ebro blankly after this without even saying a thing.
Until this week, my dad did not know where he was from. It means the world to share ancestry with my dad's from Nigeria.
In hopes of diverting the topic,
hit that like button, hit that sub button. Most of all, hit that like button so we get them ads to go. Subscribe to the channel. Those ads are poof. We need 50K chat, so feed me 50K subs in a month. We doing sub challenge. I told you, if you subscribe to the channel and we reach 50K, we gonna have that party. We gonna throw up, man. We gonna pop out. We gonna do all of that or above. You feel me? So subscribe to the channel. That's what your boy K the fuck I asked. If you ain't got you one rolled up, you better roll you one up. Cause if you ain't got one rolled up, you can't be in here. No, you cannot be in this room right now. You can't be in the dungeon with your boy. Man, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit me in the chat box. I do get back in the chat box straight like that. All real talk, no BS. Subscribe. Bring 20 more subscribers over here. Tell them like the channel, man. It's a family, it's a nation. We on board. Let's go.
Into something more lighthearted, Rosenberg casually and randomly asked Kodak's opinion on whether or not he thought the moon landing was fake.
One thing we were talking about on the show today that for some reason I just have a hunch that you would care about is the idea that landing on the moon was a conspiracy. Kodak, do you believe that our moon landing in 1969 actually took place?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Despite everyone's delight here, Kodak wasn't laughing. Ebro addressed his displeasure by asking if he was upset. He brought up the essay, to which Kodak responded with,
sometimes when we going through shit, y'all be entertained by bullshit. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. After this, Kodak told everyone to change the subject, otherwise he would walk out. But it seems at this point, Kodak wasn't the only one who was upset.
It was change the subject, I'm finna walk out.
What's up, finna walk out?
We'll change which subject?
Just whatever,
Well, they tried to change the subject. They was talking about the moon landing.
That's bull. too. So talk about something else.
Well, I was saying, I think we don't have to talk about nothing else. We could be done right here.
All right, come on.
Say chat. We tapped in.
What's up, brother?
Cuban dog. You about to get on the channel. Get on the channel.
Oh, you won't tell me
on my channel, other channel, podcast.
As Kodak was walking out, you could clearly hear Ebro say he wasn't going to let others tell him what to do on his own show, which is why when Kodak went to leave, Ebro didn't even bother stopping him. The next rapper we're going to talk about is also a podcaster himself, Joe Budden. Joe Budden is known for asking hard questions and really getting into the meat of certain topics. However, when he went on Hot 97, he found himself on the other end of the questioning line, getting asked about personal beefs and issues instead of music, which is what he was there to promote.
Alright, so first things first. Joe, Drake. It all started, you wanted to motivate Drake for bars. That's how the whole thing started.
Who cares?
No, but we gotta, I want to recap it.
It's every day for hands and many more now. Y'all recapped it every day. Y'all know what happened. Let's talk about it.
With former podcast co-host Marissa Mendez, who, by the way...
And if you don't know about your boy Joe Budden, he got bars. It's probably why you tell me who cares, because you like Drake, why you tell me like about Drake like that? Man, that man right there will out rap Drake any day. And anybody got an issue with that, put your money up.
Way was in the room with them.
We're gonna talk about Marissa Mendez now. Somebody that has supported you.
Mendez alert.
Somebody who's been there for you, and that out of the blue, because of something she didn't do, you text her, you're fired. Then I call you like, yo, you can't fire Marissa Mendez. Call her. She didn't do nothing, and you never called her.
Nah.
And then you want to go out and act like she opted to just not be on the program.
Now, there's definitely something personal going on here on Ebro's part. Not only is he just asking for an answer, but the way Ebro is speaking makes it seem like he has a real personal issue with Joe, beyond just normal colleague spats, especially with lines like these.
I know you want to get up here and act like you could outdo me on this radio thing, but
it's your show, so
Ebro didn't insist on the topic around Marissa's firing, though. He acknowledged Marissa, then proceeded to ask her former employer why she was fired in front of her.
Why'd you...
All you gotta do is
Oh, you've never used samples like this before. This is arcade.
Kick off the podcast.
I did not kick her off of the podcast.
What happened?
50K sales in a month.
It was time to go different ways.
That's some corporate bullshit.
Now, Joe did manage to maintain a calm demeanor throughout all of this, and he do his best to revert the topic to his album.
I'm getting confused. I just want to promote my album. You really thought you were going to come here and we're just going to straight promote the album and not talk about the elephant in the room?
It wasn't the elephant.
It is for us.
Eventually, though, Joe had enough of all that. He admitted that the whole thing threw him off guard, only for Ebro to point out once again that he's ... better at this radio thing than he is.
Well, y'all threw me off now.
You said you was too busy trying to dance. I told you can't outdance me, man.
You said
I said I listened to Peter's rant multiple times on 718, and now I'm dancing.
After this, Joe finally expressed how the whole situation made him feel and how unobjective the interview was.
I don't think that you guys are able to have an objective conversation, number one. Number two, this podcast conversation is not a conversation I care to have, especially not early in the morning. Number three, if Peter and or Marissa feel a way, then there are other mediums for that to be discussed if it's going to be discussed at all.
Then, Joe pointed out how little they actually talked about his album, despite it being the reason for it being there.
Next time I come here for an interview, send my manager the talk points. I didn't know that this would be an utter
You should have known that. That's crazy.
No, it was not a waste of time.
We talked about Drake for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. Then we talked about the album.
And we played your song.
And then we talked about Marissa and Peter.
Ebro and Peter's response to this was very sarcastic and unprofessional, using fallacies just to mock Joe.
You want to talk about beats? You want to talk about snares and hi-hats? You want me to pull A-Rab up and talk about the Renaissance, the NBC Renaissance?
What software you want, A-Rab?
You got the 3,000.
Let's talk software.
Renaissance, which one? You got the new plugins?
You got the new plugins? Yo, A-Rab, you got the new plugins? It's lit.
Yo, the bar you spit. Yo, this pattern you used.
Hey, yo, rap fans, by the way, Ebro's mocking you.
Realizing he was about to get nothing out of this interview, Joe calmly thanked everyone in the room.
I want to thank all of you for your time Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you, Peter. And thank you, Ebro. Thank you, board guy, for the sound effects. Thank you, Dan.
She's super producer Charlotte. Super producer Charlotte, dude.
That's how you flip out on
Thank you, board manager.
After the niceties, Joe stood up, shook the men's hands, and hugged the woman in the room. He then walked out.
What should we have covered?
I don't know. That's y'all job to talk about.
Yeah.
It's y'all job to figure out. I can do
Do your homework on becoming a better
a morning show. And you did have a morning show.
You did.
At some point, there was.
Could have had a morning show.
I remember.
Oh, I helped you with that. When you used to lay under the cabinet right here. I used to help you.
Bye, Joey.
Peace.
You good, man?
Yeah, we'll talk more.
Big mad.
Thank you. Continue, man. You good?
Big mad, Chuck.
No, we won't.
To Joe's credit, he endured Ebro's and Peter's shenanigans for almost 40 minutes before walking out. He never lost his cool. He sure got mad, but instead of lashing out, he kept his composure and left before things got worse. However, that wasn't the only time Joe Budden visibly showed his struggles during an interview. In fact, this time, Joe even got frustrated on camera, almost to the point of being physical. The 2017 BET Awards red carpet saw one of hip-hop's most infamous interview clashes when Joe Budden, DJ Academics, and the Migos were brought together for a segment. The scene began with DJ Academics attempting to address a long-standing joke with Takeoff regarding his role on the Migos breakout track, Bad and Bougie. Academics asked,
I feel like there's like a running joke with you being left off Bad and Bougie.
To which Takeoff, already appearing slightly annoyed, replied,
I ain't left out Bad and Bougie. You think I left out Bad and Bougie? You say I'm left out Bad and Bougie? What's that?
And it didn't help that Academics couldn't hear what Takeoff was saying. It just added tension.
You say I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie? What'd you say? Do it look like I'm left off Bad and Bougie?
Nah. I mean, that's the one thing I like about the group.
Academics quickly sensed the uncomfortable vibe, attempting to smooth over any tension, but commending the group's unity and success despite occasional separation.
Because ever since when you were in jail, even though you might see one or the other, y'all move as a collective.
But Joe Budden seemed entirely uninterested in the connection that Academics was trying to establish with the Migos. Budden was visibly disconnected, his expression cold and uninterested, hinting that he'd rather wrap up the interview than engage with the Migos.
Alright, we gotta wrap this up though.
My bad.
Quavo, another member of the Migos, instantly recognized Budden's disrespectful tone and responded,
Close it.
Hey, listen, man. I wish I could talk to the Migos longer, man. It's one of my favorite groups.
This abrupt statement surprised both the Migos and Academics as it cut short their moment. But despite the uncomfortable exchange, Academics tried to salvage the situation by expressing his admiration for the Migos. However, Joe Budden seemed unimpressed, and instead, he dropped.
Look, from
the very beginning, football's been a conspiracy to make us hungry. So let me tell you, we're lost.
Hit the sub button.
His mic and walked off without a word.
I've been covering for so long. I'm glad this is.
Hey man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show.
This sudden and blatant show of disrespect led to a standoff between the Migos and Joe Budden. The moment Budden walked away, the entire Migos crew rose to their feet, prepared to confront him. This vibe quickly became intense. Members of the Migos and their entourage closed in, making it clear that they would not let Budden's disrespect slide. Academics, caught in the middle, was visibly compromised as he tried to de-escalate the situation. However, the beef didn't end on the BET Awards red carpet. Following the incident, Joe Budden addressed what happened on this podcast, showing his view on the Migos. He claimed,
I think I can take 2.5 of Migos by myself.
But he didn't stop there. He even took shots at Academics, saying,
Academics is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in my entire life. But he should never comment on anything that has to do with physicality.
After the incident, a lot of people might have told Joe Budden that the Migos are not to play with.
It's also the era, by the way. Everyone got a Draco. They don't want to fight.
So that's what everybody's telling me about Migos.
However, in his mind, they were just young kids that don't know better.
Apparently, everybody views Migos as very tough guys. I'm not that familiar with their music. I still look at them like the kids. You know? How old are they?
But that's not the last time Joe Budden got heated with a young rapper, as he would again more or less embarrass himself in another interview. But this time, Joey completely loses his cool. In May of 2017, Lil Yachty came to his show to promote his new album. Budden and Academics sat down with Yachty to discuss his career and personal life at first. However, the interview quickly took a turn when Budden shifted the conversation from music to a surprisingly personal question, asking Yachty if he was truly happy.
I don't care about the business part. I care about how Yachty feels.
I'm telling you how I feel.
You're giving me every day. Wait, say
happy. I'm happy every day because life is moving in such a positive way. I can't get slowed down.
But for Budden, his answers didn't sit right. He doubted that Yachty was genuinely happy, claiming it was just a media-trained response. According to Budden,
maybe he has been media-trained. This is a very media-trained answer that I'm getting.
Not a media-trained answer. That's just how I am.
Okay, let me tell you about how humans are.
Lil Yachty tried explaining his happiness by comparing his past life to his new one. He described how his life turned around from him being a broke college student.
So you come from a college dorm room with no money, okay, you scamming credit cards.
All college dorm rooms.
And you ain't getting no play with no girls, you're not getting, they have no clothes, you have no car, and you come to having 3-4 cars, you got millions of dollars, $500,000 on your body just to wear, and any kind of clothes you want, any hoes you want. How could you be upset?
For him, this drastic life change was enough of a reason to feel happy. But this only seemed to escalate Budden's frustration. Things got even more intense when Budden asked Yachty a deeper question. What did he actually want from hip-hop? Yachty, laid back as ever, seemed to really not know what the right answer to Joe's question was.
What it is, Yachty?
I mean,
you don't think that's a question you should answer at some point?
What do I want from hip-hop?
Or are you leaving all of this to QC to figure out?
Nah.
Because to him, he was simply enjoying himself while making music.
I mean, I'm making music, bro. I'm just having fun. You know what I'm saying? My fans love it.
With just having fun.
However, Budden saw this as a problem. He warned Yachty.
You're going to have a big problem with just having fun. You don't sound like you're very aware of what's going on, and you're one of the hottest niggas on earth.
What do you want me to say?
From Budden's point of view, he wanted Yachty to know the importance of understanding his business and the culture that changed his life.
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm rooms, eating oodles and noodles.
At this point, Budden was already furious, and you could even see him turn red.
I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
But Yachty kept his cool, responding calmly. While Budden's intensity remained at an all-time high, in the end, this intense discussion showed a generational gap in how the two approached hip-hop. For Budden, this industry was serious business. For Yachty, it was a creative outlet and a chance to enjoy life. In a lot of cases, it's understandable for an interviewer to leave
Let's chop it up. Let's clap it up for Yachty right there. It's a come on. That's a business. You should take it serious. But it's a creative. Come on, man. It's just live life. Do you make your content? Put it out there. Don't stress over it. You see, man, got all them grades down there. That's probably because he was stressing over it. They said it wasn't a man that stress. You go back. Hear what my man Yachty said.
Budden's point of view, he wanted Yachty to know the importance of understanding his business and the culture that changed his life.
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm rooms, eating oodles and noodles.
At this point, Budden was already furious, and you could even see him turn red.
I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
But Yachty kept his cool, responding calmly.
My Nick.
While Budden's intensity remained at an all-time high. In the end, this intense discussion showed a generational gap in how the two approached hip-hop. For Budden, this industry was serious business. For Yachty, it was a creative outlet and a chance to enjoy life. In a lot of cases, it's understandable for an interviewer to leave prematurely because of how out-of-pocket the interviewer can be. But that doesn't seem to be the case with our next walkout, because all Bootleg Kev did was ask ESTG about his football background.
I've seen this picture of you at the NFL Combine.
Yeah.
Which,
I ain't seen no picture of no NFL.
Well, I saw you in like the NFL Combine looking like workout.
Yeah, like a workout.
Was that just a workout you were doing for a team?
I don't know how you see the picture. You ain't read the article that came with it.
I just saw a YouTube video where they were talking about you and like I was just watching some of your high school highlights in your college.
Now, this definitely was a harmless question.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why don't you own these big apartment buildings? And
on Bootleg Kev's part. He was even praising ESTG for how good he was back then. See, ESTG was a college football player for Indiana State University, and he was such a good linebacker that he was a genuine NFL prospect. However, his football career would grind to a halt after he got caught for drug trafficking.
And I was like, damn, this dude was a beast. You played linebacker, right?
What do that got to do with music and shit right now?
No, I'm just curious because I'm a big football fan. So like, I'm just like,
I'm a huge football fan, and I find it fascinating that like you really like had like a real high level like football run, you know what I'm saying, before the rap took off. So.
But ESTG would remain dismissive of the topic, insisting that his football career has nothing to do with his current music career. Noticing that his guest was uncomfortable, Kev tried to revert the interview back towards music, asking ESTG about the time he got signed. But the problem was, before he could even finish his question, ESTG had already left.
I remember when you signed with Gotti. I remember the viral moment where there was just all this cash, and at that time I feel like there was like a bidding war going on for ESTG at that moment. One, what made you rock with Gotti, and what is something over the last 2 or 3 years that you have learned?
My man walked out of there.
Even Kev himself looked bewildered by ESTG's walkout. He then closed the whole interview by saying that this was a first in bootleg podcast history.
Well, for the very first time in bootleg podcast history,
my man rapping.
We had someone walk off of the set. Interesting.
Crazy, man.
Oh, well, there's the ESTG interview that he was 2 hours late for.
Baffling indeed. Who knows why ESTG reacted the way he did? Maybe the fact that he never made it to the NFL because he got arrested is way too of a touchy subject for him. Or maybe he was just having a bad day. To most, it was a pretty tame question, all things considered. But hey, at least it didn't escalate into anything worse. Now, while some interviewers ask harmless questions and some outright fish for controversial statements, some are just outright playful. Like with our next walkout scenario. During an interview with Off the Porch, 607 Unk talked about a lot of outrageous things, such as the Illuminati and country music.
I was prepared for the Illuminati.
Oh my. The Illuminati.
Yes, swear to God, my mama.
So the Illuminati is real.
Yes, it's real.
What you mean you used to be Canadian? I don't think you could lead the Illuminati.
Listen, I'm the first person to lead. I made the ultimate sacrifice. I made the ultimate sacrifice and I got the Illuminati. I'm the first person that could speak about it. Yeah, I sacrificed my son.
Because of this feat, 607 Unk then claimed to be.
So I'm half Illuminati and half
Unk also claimed to have written Nelly's Country Grammar. In fact, he says Country Grammar is the very reason.
This guy said he had Illuminati. I couldn't catch it all. He said he sacrificed his son. This guy crazy, and he looked like he offered some PCP or some wet something. He looked squinting his eyes talking. He's gone on sudden chat.
Why he left the Illuminati?
Why'd you leave the Illuminati then?
Because I wrote Country Grammar, first of all.
Wait, Nelly?
Yes, I wrote
Country Grammar.
He laughing. He thinking it's a joke.
Considering Country Grammar came out in 2000, the interviewer was then prompted to ask how old 607 Unk was, which led to this hilarious outburst.
So, wait a minute, how old are you, Unk? You wrote Country Grammar?
Tell him how old you is, Unk. Listen, hey, as long as I've been on the show. No, look. I've been on the show, so I watch this show a lot of times, right? I ain't never saw you ask no motherfucking body how old they is. You was trying to embarrass me. But listen, I'm old enough to fuck mama and rich enough I'm out of here. You
heard me say
now, this entire interview is 37 minutes long. 607 Unk walked out 9 minutes in. Weirdly, he did come back before the interview ended, but only to shout out Nelly and to say he's never coming back to the show again. The next rapper we're going to talk about is a man who needs no introduction and an unsurprising entry into this video, Kanye West. Kanye West's interviews have always given off chaotic vibes, just like when he spoke with Piers Morgan in 2022 about a range of topics, including his apparent heritage.
I actually am a person that's classified as black. You know, I classify myself as Jew.
His divorce with Kim Kardashian.
Just to clarify one thing though, you are actually divorced, are you? Because my understanding was that you weren't actually divorced yet.
What is that, Jack? He what?
You know, I ask God the same question some mornings. Am I divorced, God?
Being censored by Western media.
In American media, it's very censored. It feels like an episode of Black Mirror a lot of times.
And oh, so much more. Throughout this whole interview, Kanye kept reprimanding Piers Morgan for apparently constantly interrupting him and not letting him finish his sentences.
I know what you said about... I know Candace.
I'm going to finish.
It's the truth.
You don't have to do that. I know what it means.
La means be quiet and let me finish.
You can interrupt my question.
This would happen again.
You can't tell me with your accent that me as an American Jew black person that I can.
Hey.
What if recording high quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star was as simple as hitting record?
That question.
So on that note, chat, look. You right here, but your boy K the fuck ass. We in a dungeon. I told you, roll one up, light one up. Sit back and chill. We vibing out. Man, craziest interviews. The craziest is these rappers set on interviews. We done got into it with the reaction. That's enough there, you know? Like, what you think about it, chat? I feel like some of them is polished and they knew what to say and what not to say. Like Yada, he knew how to bite his tongue. Birdman, he knew how to bite his tongue because he had to walk away. You mean it felt like this. The people that walked away in interviews, except for that last dude, the top was when he wrote Nelly's song. I call cap on that. You feel me? Because I feel cap on that. Like that's he got cap in his lines of talk. Like that nigga cap like shit. But chat, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You already know you in a dungeon with your boy K the fucking Axe, man. We done rocked it out. You feel me? Later up.